or no? There we go.
Yeah, it's going.
All right.
And there we are. Cool.
Trio.
Well, I guess we could just jump right into it.
Might as well.
This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by the WNBA. That's right. It's just like the NBA, only they're much worse at the sport. And welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get, from north to south, east to west, the only intercontinental podcast to tackle all of life's toughest issues and the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. I am your host, Tab Burt, and joining me today, all the way from South America, it's your friend, El Chaco.
Hola, mi hinchada!
And also with us, a very special guest. He chain smokes and says fuck a lot, so he will definitely fit in on this show, and we accept him the way that he is, and we hope that he accepts us too. It's Jamie DLuxx, everyone.
I accept you.
All right, welcome to the show, Jamie. So Tab's a little bit unfamiliar with Jamie's work, but I've been watching your stuff for years now, years and years. And like we brought up, like, how long ago was the Crispin Glover? The first Crispin Glover video you did was a long time ago, right?
It was probably 2018, and I started in early 2017, which is weird because I'm OG now. I'm like, it's like, so it flew by this 8 years. It's 8 stressful years.
It goes by real fast, man. It goes by real fast. But you've been able to cover a lot of stuff. So if anybody's unfamiliar with Jamie DLuxx, Jamie, you've basically kind of created a niche for yourself, kind of exposing Hollywood degeneracy, sex scandals, abuse, generally pedophilia stuff, right? Like that
a lot. I mean, I expand and do other shit, but that's really what got me going. And I still look into it, of course.
What was the kind of the impetus for that? What was the kind of the first thing that got you going going down that rabbit hole? I mean, was it
it's that which cannot be said anymore?
Comet pizza type stuff?
Yeah, that's how I started. And I don't even know what I think about all that anymore, honestly. But it's
you keep finding stuff. That's the thing. Hollywood keeps delivering it on a platter for you.
Well, that's the thing. There's real shit out there. If it weren't for that, though, I would never have started, honestly. So that's what started me. So
do you think that these people are born pedophiles, or do you think that they're like they get so much praise and adoration that it gets to a point where, in order to like chase this high, they go for weirder and weirder shit? Or is it a combination of the things?
It's probably a combination of a lot. Yeah, I know.
Some of it's blackmail. Some of it's just straight up blackmail.
A lot of it, though, unfortunately, this is the unfortunate part. A lot of it is, they got molested or abused as a kid, and they continue the cycle. That's that's a pattern that just keeps happening over, and not always, but it does happen over and over again.
But you've exposed quite a few people on your show. I mean, I know you've done you've done more than one Dan Schneider episode, and that was before. That was before they which one was it? Apple or who did it about the dark side of children's television or something like that? That just came out.
Oh, that was recently. That was it wasn't Apple. It was
Not Amazon?
Not Amazon. It was some kind of thing that not Pandora. I can't think of what it's called, but there was like a channel. I downloaded an app to watch it originally. Okay. Yes, I did a 5-part series in probably 2018 called The Producer. All about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the one that that's how I first got keen to that whole thing. I mean, that and 4chan was talking about it, but
yeah,
I wouldn't use the word expose. Like, you're kind of basically just kind of connecting dots and lines.
Yeah. I mean, well, sometimes I do expose shit that I maybe. All right, if I expose it,
Corey Feldman.
It wasn't secret, but I find stuff that was forgotten, I guess. Like, well, all right, there's Corey Feldman. Yes, I found the guy. Well, he left clues in his book. He used pseudonyms that were really close to the actual names.
Okay.
All right. So that's how I found John Grissom. Before he went public with it, John Grissom was his personal molester, his first one at least. Mm-hmm. And he confirmed it on Twitter. That was 2017. That's when I first started really blowing up. But
you've talked about all types of guys. You've talked about Bryan Singer. You've talked
about,
you talked about even like that the midget guy that was
Oh
those
yeah,
movies.
Ed Gale. He
Yeah.
was in Chucky, and who else was he? He was like one of the dogs in
One of
Mom
the
and Dog.
trolls or something. He was
He
in
was a
Bill
the
and Ted's
Star
Bogus
Wars.
Journey. Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of the what were they called?
Whatever those creatures were in
What were
Bill
they
and
called?
Ted's.
Station.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in
And then you
Star.
did
With the
yeah, you've
Star.
done
No,
quite a
maybe it was
few.
Maybe it was what was a Star Wars spoof? Wasn't Star Wars.
Spaceballs.
Thank you.
Spaceballs.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite movies growing up. Yeah, he was in Spaceballs.
Oh wow. Yeah. So he was in a lot of
Thank you,
those. And
Spaceballs. Yeah.
Do you think
Okay.
there's a level of like scapegoating and kind of throwing people to the wolves in order to kind of
appease the masses?
appease the masses and distract from like more serious? Because like
You mean
the
they don't get
big
the
one,
big
Harvey
fish?
Weinstein did that
Or
whole
Epstein?
the whole Me
Yeah.
Too thing, and then all of a sudden it's just like these deluge of Gates, Bryan Singer, like one little allegation, then it's just we've known about this for years, and
Yeah.
I always see those stories and go, okay, like, so what's going on right now that is
That
pretty
you can
fucked
stop
up that you guys
and
are going to talk
prevent.
about?
Yeah, I think it happens
Exactly.
a lot. I think there's enough public outcry, especially during Me Too. One thing I noticed during Me Too, because I had already started exposing all this shit before that, was they were not mentioning kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that pissed me off. Yeah, like it's only now some of them were like forced in raids, but sometimes people wanted to get in a movie. They might have given them a blowjob, and they felt bad about it later.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm sorry, but
Like,
that was your decision.
you see some of them that are really bad. Like, I mean, like the Amanda Bynes. You can see what's
Oh,
happened
yeah.
to some of these
Oh
child
my
stars.
God.
And then
Yeah.
you see what's her face. Well, even just like what's happening to Britney Spears right now, and like Jamie Lynn Spears, her sister. That you must have covered that one, right? Because that's got to be.
There's rumors.
I
don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's not been proven or anything, but there were rumors that Dan Schneider was the father of her child, and this is back when she was a teenager. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, and it killed her image, right? Because like that whole thing was like that. A lot of these things, what they'll do is they'll put these child stars out there, and they always start pure, and then they get sullied along the way, right? They just get dirtied up before, and so it happens time and time again. Ariana Grande, you got what's the Hannah Montana girl, Miley Cyrus. A lot of them.
I feel weird covering them because I mean I have covered them, but I'm like so much older that like who?
Well, we're getting to that point, but you're still able to, like, you're digging into some of this stuff. Like, I think you did one on because it was that Beetlejuice movie just came out, and they kind of acknowledged the fact that they couldn't put Jeremy Jones?
Jeffrey Jones. Yeah,
Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, he was busted.
But like, I'm sitting there with my wife, and we put on Plex because I had one point in time watched all of Deadwood, and we watched the Deadwood movie, and I said to my wife, I'm like, the thing about Jeffrey Jones is like they knew then, like he was already convicted then, like. And like,
when was that made? I never watched it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, but they knew when they were making the show. Like, I mean, Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, because he was convicted in like
a long time ago,
maybe something like that.
Yeah,
like,
no,
but that
before
that later. Yeah,
it was even before that, and
probably
it's crazy with some of those ones that they just kind of they kind of allow them back in, like even what's his face, Kevin Spacey's trying to make it back in. And
I know. Well, I didn't watch it, but he was on Tucker Carlson. It's like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Well, and like I just saw, so in the wrestling world, right, there was what they called the Ring Boy scandal. And so the Ring Boy scandal,
I made a video about it years ago. Yeah.
So, but like now it's getting brought up. Like, so the victims of that are now suing, and it's like, I get it. I get like now, like Vince McMahon is in a vulnerable position that you can come in at him on these things. But like, man, I've known about this one for over 20 years, right? Like, I mean, this is not news. It's not new. But like, I actually, so there was a guy named Seth Grimes who took the accusations of the lady against Vince McMahon, which were pretty horrible. And he was doing like videos based on the statement that she made, or the document she put out. And he was connecting the dots, and I was sitting there going, man, like this guy and Jamie DLuxx, he must be studying at the school of Jamie DLuxx here, because the way he was able to put them together and like, this person wouldn't have been at the company at this point in time. So, or they
Okay,
were
yeah,
at this
because
point in time.
most of this is public information. You just have to look deep enough and connect the dots, and
So
put
how
it
does
down.
it feel when you, okay, so for example, you did crack the code on who abused Corey Feldman, and
Mhm.
you said that Corey Feldman acknowledged that you were right ahead
Mhm.
of time, right? So like, how did that feel? Like to know that you
Well,
actually got one?
This was 2017, and at first I felt horrible because I made a video where I thought I found the guy,
Mhm.
and it was the same name, same everything, but Google had put the guy John Grissom with they connected a different picture and different whatever social media profiles to a different guy named John Grissom,
Oof.
and named him as an actor with his picture to License to Drive, and also Dream a Little Dream. He was in both movies as a bit part or small part. And I made a video, and the guy in the video, CPS had taken their children away, him and his wife.
Oh no.
Right? And like, so him and his family are commenting, and I'm like whatever. And
Okay.
I didn't notice at first. Corey Feldman's like, close, but no. And they were threatening to sue me and stuff. I took it down right away. I was like, what the fuck? And I felt horrible about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we looked into it, and I had a friend of mine that used to help me online because she had a subscription to, like, I don't know if it wasn't White Pages, but something where you do background checks, and she would help me a lot. Her name was or online at least, was Majestic Angel. I haven't talked to her in years actually, but she helped me, and I actually found the actual guy. I don't know if she actually helped me find the guy, but she did help me in the beginning. I know that I found him through, because I don't know if his Facebook page, it was public, but not everything was public at the time or whatever. But I found him through a relative, and I put out the video again. And in the first original video, I apologized to the original John Grissom. It was the right name, right everything, just the wrong
picture. Yeah,
wrong picture and wrong person.
Okay,
so I took that down. So I was really torn. It was really just to like.
Oh, so you didn't get to savor it really because it was like kind of.
I was just trying to vindicate myself, because I felt horrible because I was wrong.
Right,
nobody likes being wrong. So I
well, it's not something you want to be wrong about either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
I issued I issued a public apology and all that, but I was new. With it all. But I felt so much better when I actually found the guy, and then I let all that die down, and I kept up with the other John Grissom that I mistakenly. I haven't talked to him in a few years though, but they were from North Carolina.
Oh man.
Yeah, I felt horrible about it, man. I felt fucking horrible about it.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of apologies, I need to make a retraction on some statements that I've made on this show over the years. I know a lot of people have taken great joy from me messing with telemarketers and scammers, things like this.
Go and die.
What is this one? Here's the deal. I was wrong, and these scammers are actually doing a great service. So my mom was in town last weekend, and she needed to update. She changed her website, opened a website to do this company she's running. And I think she just went on Google and typed in, how do I make a website, and picked the first link. And so it's the most convoluted, like, WordPress site thing. And she's like, I want to move my domain, which I thought was no big deal. But it turns out that the domain thing that she bought also created a WordPress account for her that now no longer exists because it was all through this, like.
Oh, anyway, you couldn't just download the. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, no, I did. It's the whole process. So the domain switches to GoDaddy, and we're trying to call GoDaddy to get the name service changed, but the name service is pointed at a email address that only exists through the domain, which now doesn't work because the domain isn't pointed anywhere. So it's like this whole
confusing
layer of stuff. And the beginning part of the conversation was, I'm on the phone. I'm trying to like three-way calling with GoDaddy, and I'm networking into my mom's computer, using a remote desktop. Yeah. And so I've installed Chrome Remote Desktop on like every one of her computers for the last 5 or plus years, and she got a new computer. I didn't know this, and doesn't have remote desktop on it, and she couldn't get it to install. So I found this one called Rust Desk, where you download an exe and then you just run the fucking exe, and it worked pretty well. But when I was downloading it, you pull up the web page, and in this giant pink banner with huge white text, it says, if you are on the phone with someone you don't know and they're telling you to download this, they're a scammer. Hang up the phone.
Good for them.
And I'm spending time on the hold with GoDaddy. It takes 10 minutes to talk to a person on Go, because to talk to a person at GoDaddy, a service that I'm paying for, right?
I pay for it too. I get you.
She's paying for it. I have an account with it, and I have to sit on hold and listen to this fucking robot tell me that their call is very important to me. My call is very important to them, and meanwhile, these fucking boomers, get an email or a text message. Hey, USPS here. We need to update your address. Click this link, and the link is like, I'm gonna steal all your fucking money.biz, and they're like, oh, this must be USPS.
Why are there Thailand gambling sites attached to this?
Yeah. And I'm just like, you don't have the cognizance not to fucking click on links in your email or realize that when you call a thing and you don't have to press 1 or 0 and you don't have to like talk to a robot and wait 15 minutes for it to get done, that your money's being stolen. You know what? Fucking rob them all blind. I've been watching these YouTubers that fuck around with the scammers.
Oh, they're the best.
No, I'm 100% against the YouTubers now. Take all of their fucking money. All of these dumb fucking assholes that get on the fucking phone and call up a place, and then they remote into your desktop and send you to fucking Target to buy Best Buy gift cards. Fucking spend all your money. You fucking deserve it. You deserve nothing, and I fucking hate you. It's got to have this big ass banner because you can't fucking figure out that you're not talking to Microsoft tech support. And the thing was, like, for a bit there, like 2 weeks ago, I was thinking we just really need to teach our parents to be racist again, because when you pick up the phone and you call and you get the guy and you get fucking Apu in India, and he's like, "Oh, this is Microsoft tech support," you should go, "This is definitely a fucking scam."
Well, but all the support is like somebody with some kind of accent. For me, anything I do, and that's like one reason I hate calling support, because I can't fucking understand you. I can't understand you.
In some cases, with the bigger websites and stuff like that, you gotta, like, the fact that you're on with support is the scam, because, like, try getting a hold of Twitter, try getting a hold of YouTube when you're knocked off of any of those things. Try getting a hold of Facebook. They'll never. There's no contact number or anything.
But I get GoDaddy. Like, it's confusing to me because, like, I got banned from what's it called, Linktr.ee, which 3.5 years later, out of nowhere, they unbanned me.
Awkward.
Just like YouTube.
Just like YouTube. Yeah, but I actually went and appealed YouTube. I never appealed Linktr.ee. 3.5 years later, they're like, we made a mistake or whatever. I mean, it was because of my link to my BitChute channel. They said.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But that took 3.5 fucking years for you to get. Fuck you. So I started I started a website on GoDaddy. It's DLuxxNation.com. Just like about links, because I upload to 9 platforms.
Oh, for the audio only listeners of this program, so it's Jamie JAMIE, and then DLuxx, and it's spelled DLuxx. Okay, so if you look up Jamie DLuxx,
I'm very sexy. I'm sexier. I'm the sexiest guy here tonight.
He's going ASMR on our poor audio only audience.
Yeah, well, they love my unconventional voice from chain smoking, drinking whiskey, and smoking weed.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for audio. It's perfect for all this. So, Tab, did you have anything to share about your?
No, that's my update of my life. We are now on a 24-hour hold, because even though I'm talking to a person on the phone, I've verified all the information about the account. They cannot just change the fucking name servers for me. And it's like they are looking at the exact same web page that I'm looking at in my account view.
You didn't get it resolved?
No. I have to go back into this fucking nightmare tomorrow to hopefully get this website back up.
Yeah, it's so stressful.
So and I was like, I thought that you had all this shit together, and it was just we were just going to move the domain and then repoint it, and it was good.
Well, you guys pay? You pay $20 a month? That's what I pay for my website.
I have no idea. It's not mine. Up. It's like $100 a year or something. But
you probably get a better deal. Yeah,
it's Yeah, the whole fucking thing's a nightmare. And had I known what we were doing, I would have said, just fucking create a new WordPress account and host your domain in WordPress and build your website in WordPress. And we'll just download this template, create a brand new account, and put this fucking template in here, and
Should
it'll
be
just
easy.
work.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I might actually pull. I might pull. Here's what I don't get.
Well, aren't we I think we're on. Aren't we on Squarespace?
Squarespace is how
they're horrible.
page is handled, but the domain is owned by GoDaddy, and I think I'm going to move it off because I'm so fucking pissed off these people.
GoDaddy
the customer
screwed us
service
over,
people
man.
were also annoying because they kept telling us different things. Every guy would tell us something different, and none of the things lined up with what they were saying. So I had to go figure a bunch of this shit out myself, which is, I am not looking forward to dealing with them tomorrow.
I hear you.
But now when the telemarketers call and I get the Indian people, I just say, hey, thank you for your service. Rob these old. You're not going to get a fucking dime from me for my car's extended warranty, but you rob these boomers blind. I'm 100% on board.
Oh man, I had a wrestling show this last Saturday, and friend of the show, Sully, we had to write him off the show for the next little while because he's going back up to North America, and so I had the crowd in the palm of our hands. It was great. People were chanting "fuck Chaco" the whole time. It was great. And then I did something I normally don't do, because normally when we go because I live 2 hours out of the capital, and normally I bring the wife and kids. We get ourselves like an Airbnb, and I stay the night. And then we, go the next morning to, sometimes go to mass or something like that. But this time around, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just leave the family at home, and I'm going to drive back after the show. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because it was not a good idea. Paraguayan driving is bad in the daytime, but in the nighttime, you get ghost cars. And that
people with no headlights and stuff.
People with no rear lights. So no rear lights. You're driving, and the thing is there's long stretches with no street lamps, and the biggest potholes you'll ever see. So I'm trying to avoid the potholes while at the same time trying to look up and make sure that I'm not gonna ram into somebody on a motorcycle with using his phone light as his headlight in front of his.
I can't imagine. Do you have to speak different languages? I don't even know what Paraguay.
Yeah,
was.
bro. It's all Spanish. It's all Spanish down here, but it's also the hardest Spanish you'll ever learn because it's a bilingual country. They speak this other language called Guarani, and so 70% of the population doesn't even speak Spanish very well.
I can barely speak English, I feel like.
Exactly. So yeah, and the other thing was I was on my way home, I was I'm not gonna eat until after the show. And so the show ended up ending at 10:45. So I'm like, okay, I'll just hit a Burger King or a drive-through on the way back. And I'm thinking to myself,
I have no
what's
clue
that?
what it's like. They got
Burger King. They got Burger King. They got Pizza Hut. We just got Popeye's chicken.
I can't even it's above my understanding.
Do they fly? Do they fly future scholars in to have fights in the lobby?
Always with the future scholars, because there's no future scholars here to fight in front of it. They had to bring them. They had to.
You guys are gonna have to get some euphemisms so that Popeye's experience can be correct.
They'll get it.
I've never been out of that. I've never been out of the U.S., so I don't know. Maybe Canada as a kid. Maybe.
Okay.
For a minute,
all right.
Because I'm originally from Mass, and that's kind of close to Canada, and I think we might have went there skiing or some shit.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, people pop into Canada here and there, and it's so forgettable that it's easy to leave behind. But so I'm thinking to myself, it's 11 o'clock at this point. They have this other brand called Mostaza, which is Spanish for mustard, but it's also
I was gonna say it reminds me of this chick I banged when I was 19. My friends called her Mustacha as a joke.
Oh no!
I mean, she was not really a mustache. She had some dark hair there though, but the lights were out.
So I'm driving past this place, and then normally back home, 11 p.m. at a fast food restaurant is not really going to be that busy.
Yeah,
but this was straight out of American Graffiti. It was just cars and people hanging out. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to Mostaza.
And I can't
maybe Burger
understand
King
them.
will be
There's
better.
different languages and stuff.
Well, it was just more along. It was just a crowd. People down here, they eat too late. Like we're weird to them if we eat like 6 or 7. If you eat before 10, you're weird down here. They all eat dinner like super late.
Where are you from originally? Canada?
Canada, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I'm originally from Canada, but living here in Paraguay now. And so I go to the Burger King. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go. And I get there, and like I'm telling you, the parking lot was packed. The restaurant was packed. It was like a discotheque. The place was just like totally like it was happening. And it took like a good solid 35 minutes to get my combo and leave. But and that's not because because I could speak the language. But yeah, it drove that way back and barely made it home. Like it was brutal, like the whole way, just because of the potholes are bad enough. But it's these people with like, okay, they had like I must have passed at least 7 motorcycles without a back headlight or a tail light. And the thing is that I had to replace the tail lights on my van and just get the bulb to put in. Do you know how much they cost? They're like 50 cents. There's no even excuse for these people to get these things done.
Well, I was going to say, when I was younger, when I was like 19, 20, I bought a van from somebody because I was going to say I was a musician. I still am a musician. I'm actually playing Sunday. We're going to play 3 hours. I'm playing in a reggae
You're
band
in 2
now.
bands now, right? 2 bands.
Yeah, I'm still in 2 bands. Yeah, but one band's not really playing. One band, our bass player is like in a wheelchair and he was in the hospital.
What do you play?
I'm really a guitar player, but I play mostly keyboards for the reggae band.
Oh, okay.
A little guitar, but it's all with the same singer I've been with mostly. We had a falling out when I was 20. Since I was 15, I met him in high school. We've been.
Well, you're in South Carolina, and Buck, our old buddy on the show here, is in North Carolina, and he's a guitar player. Maybe you'll have to get a 3rd band going.
What part of North Carolina? I like North Carolina.
I can't say. What's that?
Okay, that's fine.
Statesville.
Statesville. I used to play Statesville all the time when I was like 18. It was a club there. I think it was called Landmark. And you were talking about vehicles with no taillights. We had a van I bought when I was like 8. I think I was 18. And none of the back lights worked, right? So we had our friend Fats. He was probably like 16. He's from Canada originally, actually. He's like 6'5". Yeah, I know. He's like 6'5". That's a huge dick. Because I just know because we were like swimming in the pool. Before we, if I had a huge dick, I would have whipped it out all the time, like he did.
I think there's going to need to be a Jamie DLuxx video on Jamie DLuxx after this one.
No, I'm just saying. And he was just like, we're swimming in his pool in his rich neighborhood because we're all poor as fuck, you know. And he lived at his parents' house in a rich neighborhood. We're swimming in his pool, and he's like up walking around the patio, pulls his dick out, just pissing in the pool while we're swimming in it. Like, you fucking asshole, you know. Like I wouldn't do that because I didn't want. Yeah, that's embarrassing. You know.
And you're in the pool.
So, Fats came with us, and we had him back there, and we're like, "Look, our brakes," because none of the lights work, and we had He had a flashlight, so we turned the flashlight on through the one of the holes or whatever, so it would look kind of like a brake light.
See you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then we had a show in Asheville. Asheville's pretty far away. I'm at the beach.
I know where Asheville is.
All right, it's up in the mountains, and
they almost got hit with the hurricane.
Well, no, they got hit bad.
Yeah,
they got hit bad. Yeah. We used to play a squad up there called the Pink House, and the dude from I always heard this back then. I don't really know the logistic, like the truth about this, but somebody from a band called Pinhead Gunpowder lived in the shed up there, and he ended up in Green Day. I don't know. I never looked into this. I never thought about it. Yeah. I never thought about it since the internet, but I used to tour before internet, before we ever had it.
Well, before I go ahead. Well,
I was just gonna say we played up in Nashville and we're coming home in this van. Now, meanwhile, it was a pewter van, not pewter. It was all what's primer? Primer. It was a primer, fucking like shit gray van, no backlights, and we were dumb. We spray painted in Dead Center, which was our band name back then. We were like a punk ska band, like Operation Ivy, whatever.
You really need to play with Uncle Buck.
So we spray painted a bullseye on one side that said Dead Center. The back said the Scum Bus. That's what we called it. And then one side had a guy like waving in flames, and it said "Burn in Hell" all big down the side of the van, which was dumb as fuck. We got pulled over all the time. So we had no lights, and we leave Myrtle Beach. I'm in shorts because it's warm here. I live at the beach. We get to Asheville in the mountains, snowing out. Had no fucking clue, freezing. So we're coming home, and we get like a couple miles from Charlotte, which is right on the border of South Carolina, and we get pulled over.
Yep.
And I wake up, and the cop, they're like, "You have no taillights, whatever. You can't leave this gas station." And he was nice enough. He's like, you didn't arrest anybody, but he's like, you can't leave the gas station in this van. You have to get somebody to pick you up and get the van towed. Yep. Like, all right, we sat there for hours, and we were all teenagers. None of us drove except our drummer, and we would feed him trucker speed just to keep going, because it used to be illegal here. You could buy trucker speed. We just feed Chip trucker speed to keep him going. And we fucking finally, like, that was like 3 a.m. By 9 a.m, I'm like, Chip, that cop is off duty now. He's not around anymore. The border is fucking 10 miles that way. We just got to get to South Carolina, and we're
across the state lines. Yeah.
Well, because I just bought the van. Like, I bought it. And back
without
then
the
you had
taillights.
No tail. I didn't know. It was sitting in someone's. Well, that wasn't even the first trip. The first trip we had 3 blowouts. Plain Statesville, actually.
All right.
3 blowouts. Yeah. But this is a couple months later. So we fixed our tires. No taillights. And you have 45 days to put a plate on it. So I guess it was like within a month and a half. Yeah. And we had no plate, no back plate at all or anything, You had 45 days. We didn't know you weren't supposed to leave the state, though. We didn't know that. Evidently, you weren't supposed to leave the state.
Apparently not. Yeah.
No, you aren't. No taillights. Couldn't leave the state. Cop pulled us over in North Carolina. We're at the gas station, and we're like, all right, we'll just get it towed. He was cool enough not to arrest Chip or anything. Mm-hmm. 9 a.m, we egg him on. We're like, let's just fucking go. And we hop back in the van. We just fucking jetted for the fucking border, and we got home. We got home somehow.
Oh, there you go.
That's the good part of the story. Yeah.
Well, should we jump
into your issue?
Yeah, I'm going to jump into my issue. I'll go first, so that Jamie, you can get a little bit of a catch of the vibe of how we do this show.
All right.
So here's what I don't get: emotional exhibitionism. So what? I was watching something the other day, and they used that term, and I loved it. Basically, what it means is when somebody goes on social media and pours every bit of this, it could be fake, it could be real, I don't care, but just going full-blown emotional online, so, just fishing for sympathy, fishing for somebody to say something. So whether that is like a TikTok video of some lady crying about how she just got divorced and it was not everything that she thought it was going to end up being, or those cryptic one-line things on Facebook or something like that, like what you did or something like that. But just the thing that I don't understand about it is, what's the purpose? Is that content? And also, who are these people that are feeding this beast? Because it just seems to me that this isn't good content when it's just somebody crying and it's just some TikTok thing on top of it about all the things that have gone wrong in your life, or for example, again, you got an election coming up. The amount of times you'd see somebody when Trump won and just flat out just screaming online, or when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. And then all of a sudden you just got this just screaming and crying on these videos in their car. And it's how do you think this is a good look? How do you think this is going to win somebody over? In any way? It's just pure emotion. Have you guys encountered a lot of this?
It does. Yeah, it does. And it works on a lot of these people because they can't make an argument. They can't make a statement. So they think that this display, stoicism is really, what is admirable, right? Someone who just takes it in stride and doesn't let the shit affect them.
Yeah.
And we have completely abandoned that as a society where people are proud to have these meltdowns over insignificant things.
Yeah, it's victimhood.
Yeah. Well, and so you get points for crying.
You've been told let it out, share your story, share your pain, blah, blah, blah. And it's
let it out, but that's something you do in private, really, or around
exactly.
You should let it out. Yes.
That's the thing. Letting it out is fine, but doing it all online, in front of the world, in front of strangers, what are you getting from this?
Attention.
Yeah. And
Sort of.
so
wrong
much of
water-
our
watering that plant, instead of
Exactly.
getting like if you let it out, if you're emotional and you cry because we're taught not to cry.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, ever since being a dad, I'll hear
Oh.
a song and I start crying on my way to work, or whatever. I feel like a bitch.
Totally.
I mean, this is like a daily thing. I'll be listening to books on Audible. I cry all the time, by myself.
The ending of Field of Dreams. That's what gets me.
I don't do it in front of people though. But this is by letting it out though, because emotional, it's energy, emotion. It's like the rain. You can't grow without it. But these people want you. I guess they want the attention, so it's like a sprinkler, like somebody sprinkling on a garden. But it's not. It's good though. It's not as good as natural.
How much of it is fake too, though? Like
I'm sure a lot of it's fake, man.
It's all performative.
Yeah.
And that's the other frustrating part of it is that, and you didn't say it, but I think we all know who's doing this. It's women. And
mostly
and gay men. Like I always think of the first emotional exhibition.
Yes.
The first one I can always think of is like, leave Britney alone. Remember that guy? The guy who was just like crying with a mascara on and
hilarious.
leave Britney alone.
Oh, there was that one Soy Lord guy when the Star Wars The Final Countdown, whatever the fucking
I remember that guy.
filmed himself watching the trailer and he's fucking crying. And the thing that really bothered me about the video is he has some kind of like AIDS sore on his face and no one else fucking mentioned it. But he's like openly weeping at a corporate advertisement.
Disney trailer, for crying out loud. Disney.
It's essentially the same thing as an ad for Tide. And you're weeping. Don't get me wrong. I've cried watching movies. You get emotionally involved in the thing.
I cry at La Bamba every time I watched it. I watched it a couple weeks ago. I still cry at La Bamba. Right at the end,
but not online. You're not doing it for your followers.
No.
Yeah, and not to get praised for it.
Kevin Smith started doing that crap.
I grew up watching Kevin
himself
Smith.
at every fucking
I
movie. I just finished watching
fan.
She-Hulk and all these tears. It's like
I was a huge fan, man. Back in the night, like fucking Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy.
Oh, he was great.
Dogma.
Yeah.
Oh my god, but he's a fucking bitch. And I saw him wearing two masks, like running, going on a run or whatever.
Well, speaking of that, like how many celebrities like had pity parties during the lockdowns? Where they would just go on and like cry about how lonely they feel and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, it's just fishing for compliments. It's just fishing for that attention.
Oh, that stuff's kind of started to backfire now though, because so the girl that's Snow White in the new Snow White, who is not white,
Ziegler, Rachel Ziegler. Yeah.
She like went on TikTok and talked shit and is just getting smacked down. The girl that was in The Acolyte did the same thing, that emotional exhibitionism, and
she did her
smacked down and
diss track.
I think it's the She-Hulk lady. Like and
is she orange or green? Is she like orange now? Because if it's on Netflix, it's gonna be the opposite.
Well, and now they're having that even with because you're in theater. They finally got it out of development hell, but they're making that Wicked movie. That lady from the Wicked movie is crying about how because somebody just took the poster. Because the way that the original Wicked poster has it, it's the brim of the hat is shading the eyes. Yeah. But she was upset. She called it racist that somebody said that somebody did the shading to make it look like that poster. So I mean, this is the thing.
She was saying something about being a black lesbian. I saw she said something like that.
She might have been. It's the same lady. It's the same lady who played that horrifying Pinocchio remake that just came in.
I never saw it. I don't pay attention to most. I read.
She played the fairy godmother of Pinocchio or whatever.
I read Wicked when it came out. I used to read a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I was married to a high school teacher. I even read the Twilight books, and I thought they were good. Yeah, I read all the Harry Potters. They didn't make me cry. The movie sucked. The movie might have made me cry because it was horrible, and I couldn't believe I was in there. But I read the books. I read all the Harry Potters and shit. I read Wicked. I started to read Son of a Witch, which was the second one, but I never finished it. So
okay.
this
But
is
yeah,
like early
the
2000s,
fans
well, mid
want the
2000s.
things. The fans want the things to be the way they, expect, right? It's this whole subverting expectations thing. But this is, it's a little off track. But like when people push back on that, you can't cry about it. That's not going to win the argument. I mean,
you're not fine
to be
then.
to be fair, I mean, like women's tears do win a lot of arguments. they do win a lot of arguments.
Because I'm sick of it. That's why. That's the only reason for my.
It's a kryptonite, man.
I had to practice Sunday. I'm playing a show this Sunday in my reggae band. We're playing 3 hours at a Chili Olympics. It's going to be huge. It's going to be
okay.
Like it's like a big chili festival cook-off at this big place. All these business owners. We make money in this band when we play. We get to play for 3 fucking hours. Yeah,
nice.
And I had to practice this last Sunday. And you know how much she called me fucking 12 times while I was at band practice. 12 fucking times. And but I think she's still mad at me for that.
Oh man.
I don't even know what I'm going on about. I'm just fucking
don't check your phone while you're on this. Don't check your phone while you're on this.
She don't support or watch any of my fucking online shit. So don't worry about it.
Probably for the best.
I don't tell people about this.
Oh, it is for the best. I get bitched out enough. I don't need her to come on,
But I'm glad you brought up stoicism, Tab, because the thing is like, what are we teaching the youth? What are we teaching the kids coming up, right? Like, there is something to be said for when you get a hardship, right? Maybe you're not a man yet, but you got to take it like a man, and you gotta handle it. You gotta just persevere and just get through it. And like, there is nothing wrong with in private grief. If you're gonna grieve in private, please, all the power to you. That's totally fine.
It's great getting it out of you, honestly.
It's just bringing it out there and bringing it out on a camera, and specifically tears, right? It's just specifically tears. Milking those tears for everything you have, or just like going crazy and yelling. And that's the other thing I've seen more of lately. Like anybody who denies. I saw this one video of this guy like was just screaming at anybody who denies like human-made climate change, and it was just like, dude, you're not winning any arguments here. You're not going to win an argument by screaming at them and calling them a bunch of names. Like we do that on this show for comedy purposes, but we're not expecting to win an argument, and it's not there for the main course. Whereas if it's like a Snapchat or a TikTok video or a YouTube short, it's like, what are you doing this for? Who's this for? And the other thing is what's weird to
watch that too.
Well, it works because it clearly taps into some sort of algorithm thing, because these things get like millions of views, or they get shared like all over the place. And you just, for example, like it's very different from, for example, the lady on the plane who was like, that motherfucker's not real. Like she was having an emotional outburst, but she wasn't filming herself doing it. Right. Like it was somebody else filming her doing that. So it's a little bit different, but like,
plus she could get it, I ain't lying.
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
But so, yeah, man, like I don't know when
I'm not real. Not real. I don't even know what's going on.
Not real at all. Yeah. Just lizards on the plane. But like, when did this start? Why did this start? But I think it's just more algorithm hell, because the thing is like, somebody's clicking on it, somebody's reacting to it, and then what does the algorithm do? It just sends you more of that shit over and over and over.
Just talking about this real quick. I know that Tab has something to mention, but I've been trying to call out John Leguizamo the last couple of days because he's like,
there's one.
Bitch.
That's a
he's a bitch, right?
Emotional exhibition.
I'm Italian. I never met my real father. Well, no, I met my real father in 2016. I was 36 when I met my biological father. His real last name was Mancini. Italian as fuck. I'm Italian. I'm part Italian.
All right.
And when the new Mario came out a couple years ago,
I saw that.
I did too.
He's not even Italian. He's not Italian.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I saw that because I have kids. My son's now 11. My daughter's 8. She'll be 9 the end of next month.
Okay.
And so my son got invited to a birthday party when that movie came out. I hate going to kids' birthday parties, but I bring my kids all the time to birthday parties because I'm always off on weekends. My hours at work, so she never has to. I always do. And I fucking hate it. Oh, I always hate it. This kid had a birthday party at the Mario thing at the movie theater. We got free popcorn, free candy, a free movie. That was the best fucking birthday party I went to. We watched Mario like a couple years ago.
It was a decent movie too.
It was nostalgic, yeah. And I grew up playing Mario. Yeah, I wasn't mad. That was the best fucking birthday party I went to. I get to see Mario with my kids. And John Leguizamo was bitching. There's not enough Latinos in the movie, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
What the fuck
Latin
you played?
people, he says.
Yeah, you played a fucking Italian guy. You played Luigi in Italian in 1993.
He just wanted the role again. He just
I
wanted
guess
the
so, man.
role.
But it's like, what a hypocrite. I started calling him John Leg was John Leg Lasagna. John Leg Lasagna.
Yeah. Well, John Leguizamo did.
He's funny. I mean, he was funny. He's not anymore.
At one point, yeah.
That was Pasta Face, and it wasn't right when he did it. It's not right what Chris Pratt is doing either. It's all for
I don't know what Chris Pratt.
Nobody's allowed to act outside of their ethnicity anymore. You have to be exactly what we want out of it.
Wasn't what's his name? Brandon Fraser. Didn't he get a lot of shit for being a fat gay guy in a movie? I never saw it, but The Whale.
The Whale, yeah.
After
because we apparently had
for like 20 years.
We have to only cast morbidly obese, actually gay guys to play morbidly obese
gay guys. Yeah. Well, the thing about an actor is you can play anybody.
What even is acting? Yeah.
I'm getting a little sick of the get woke, go broke thing though, because it never seems to work. I mean, it's like all these movies don't actually pay out, and yet they still keep making them. So it's not like it's going to end.
Yeah, we don't really see movies. We did see Beetlejuice because the family wanted to see it, of course.
Was it good?
Was it good? Right. It was good for nostalgic reasons, but it's hard for me. Like, it's like I grew up. That was one of the movies I grew up on, Beetlejuice. I loved it growing up,
Mm-hmm.
But why'd you wait like over 30 years to make a part 2?
Was it in development hell? I think they tried to make it before, but
I don't know if they did or not. But it was all right. I was happy to go with my family and like get the popcorn and just for the experience. But
that's the hard part. Is like we keep looking at the board in the movie theater and going like, is there anything I'm going to take my kids to? Like I sent my kids to the Super Mario movie. We had a nanny at the time, and we're like, okay, you can go with the nanny, and we're going to go do some shopping. Yeah. And but every time we look, we're like, man, like every time we're like, maybe this movie, maybe not this movie. Like it's hard these days.
It is. I mean, like I went there with the birthday party for Mario. And then besides that, the first Ghostbusters remake we went to. That's it. Oof.
Okay.
Not the girl one, but the other one.
Okay. The other one.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the other one, the Frozen Empire. I haven't seen that one yet, but the first one that came out with like
look at that. Ghosts. So I'm just gonna for our regular listeners, Jamie DLuxx played in a punk ska band in Statesville, North Carolina at one point in time. He's talking Ghostbusters. Yeah. I feel like we've just gotten our Uncle Buck replacement.
I have a Ghostbusters tattoo.
I'll break him in case of emergency, Uncle Buck.
Oh, there we go. What has he got here?
Ghostbusters.
Oh, jeez.
The tattoo.
You guys are like,
they might be separated at birth, brothers.
When I was 17, I got this tattoo, which was 1997, maybe early 98.
That's awesome. Yeah, because Uncle Buck.
The cross-out thing was actually red, but the ink wore out and came out, so you can't see it anymore, really. But it was red at one point, 30 years ago almost.
Just for your own backstory, Uncle Buck, long time co-founder of the show, great guy, lives in North Carolina. He plays in bands, and he's also there's my one reference to basically he would always bring up Ghostbusters whenever he could.
I grew up on it. I mean, I grew up on it. All that shit.
Ghostbusters is great. Ghostbusters,
Star Wars, only the first 3 though.
Yeah,
I watched the other 3.
The only other 3
else.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never seen any other one.
I've never seen any of the Star Warses.
Okay.
Never?
No, never seen any of them.
I love the original 3. I love them.
I don't believe you, Tab. And also, we actually just watched. I went out of my way and I got the theatrical release version of the original trilogy, and I'm trying to get my kids to like it. I wish it was on Laserdisc. Yeah,
I would give up at this point. I don't want my kids to even like it, honestly, because
I got them
they're
into
great.
It.
Even though they're great, everything else, they ruined it. They ruined
kids
it.
loved Back to the Future. They loved the Back to the Future.
I did too.
trilogy.
Growing up, I
It's a
grew
great
up on that
trilogy.
shit too. I mean,
They
I was
love
born
that,
in '80.
and we can rest assured that they're not gonna make it anymore because like the guys
Not
who
until Bob Gale and Robert Zemeckis are both dead, and then
their family will
Future
sell them out
4,
like
yeah.
Tolkien's
But you know
family.
what? Lily Thomas, is that her name? Who plays
Li-
Michael J. Keaton's mom?
Leah Thompson.
Leah
Leah
Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah, she is so woke on Twitter. It makes you want to throw
That
up.
doesn't surprise me, but
But she was in Howard the Duck with Ed Gale, the
Oh.
child molester, and Jeffrey Jones. She was right there in between them the whole fucking time. Howard the
no
Duck.
kidding.
Yeah, they're like. So I want to ask her, how was it working with? I'm not saying she
No
did
kidding.
anything, but how was it working?
Well, and then
directly
they got
between
Spielberg
two
on
child
set.
molesters?
You got Spielberg on set at Back
Probably.
to the Future.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well,
Anyway.
So any other emotional exhibitionism examples you could think of, Tab, that we could add to this before closing this one down?
No, I think you've covered it all pretty well, and I'm 100% on board with you. It's his big issue.
It's a plague on the internet.
Get a tissue. It's a big issue. Get a tissue.
Good one.
So, Jamie, did you want to give it a go? Do you have did one come up into your head?
I forgot I was supposed to think about that. Not really.
That's
I think
fine.
I told you I wanted to bitch about my families. I already did, so we're good.
Well, do you want to just assist then on? Why don't we go to the news stories then?
Yeah.
And
So we got a special news intro this week that was
Okay.
sent in to us by Deli18.
You're listening to Irrelevant News Network 365, bringing you meaningless news every day for a year.
The fuck is it? Who's that retard?
God bless that guy. Good job, Dealey. All right.
So I've got news here. I got a news story from Missouri, Independence, Missouri. A second grader collided a school bus into another bus in front of her elementary school while the driver was allegedly trying to give the children a safety lesson. Parents of students on 2 buses outside of Three Trails Elementary in Independence, which is about 10 miles from Kansas City, received an email about their children being involved in a minor incident on school grounds. They were told one of the buses had slowly rolled into another while on the grounds, but left out that a student was at the helm of the massive transportation vehicle when the crash occurred. Alana Cheffin said she was called to the front of the bus by the driver who was instructing the kids what to do if there was a medical emergency, like how to open the doors and windows. Cheffin said that she and other students on the bus were asked to volunteer to help with the lesson, but when no one wanted to, the driver called her to the front to assist and put her in the driver's seat. She told me to press that thing, and when I pressed it, it made the whole bus go backwards. Then I pressed the gas button, and it stopped out of nowhere. The second grader's older sister, Amia Brown, who was on board the bus during the incident, said the driver barely reacted when the minor collision happened while her sister was behind the wheel. Yeah, so I don't know why the fuck they're putting second graders in the driver's seat of buses in the state of Missouri, but holy shit, do teachers here suck.
No kidding, man. Holy cow. Like,
Are you in Missouri?
Yeah, I'm in St. Louis. I'm on the other side of the state, but you know.
I've never been in Missouri. I'll be honest with you. I've
You're not
traveled
missing
most of the
anything.
country. Well, I had something to add to that, which weirdly enough, I don't know the specifics, but I saw today. I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, which is Horry County, Horry, which when I moved here from Boston when I was 11, I thought it was Horry County, like a whore. There are some whores here, but it's actually Horry. The H is silent. In 10th grade, well, all right. Well, first off, I saw today that a bus getting into an accident with 30 kids aboard it. I don't know the specifics of it, but there was an accident with a bus today. I saw briefly. I'm not allowed to go on Twitter at work. I do sometimes, but my GM follows me, so I can't really say anything. I work banker hours. But I'm going to look into that now that you mentioned it again. And I think it's weird that kids, like, we all have to wear seatbelts. I got arrested pretty much for a seatbelt violation. Not really, but I got tickets for not wearing a seatbelt for $25 back in the day, like in the 2000s. I didn't pay it because I had no job at the time.
oh, you're a hardcore criminal.
And then my license was suspended. I didn't know. And then I got pulled over one time. And my license, and they arrested me because my license was suspended.
Were you with anybody or were you by yourself?
Wild.
I was with my ex-girlfriend and her daughter, whose dad was a cop out in Florence, South Carolina.
he called you in.
Away.
He
No,
called
he's
you
an hour and a half
in. He
away.
ratted you out.
They fucking arrested me though, and I had to go. I spent like 6 hours in the jail cell. It was horrible.
That's
you know,
not fun.
No, not at all. Not at all. I fixed everything. I got everything fixed. So I didn't know I had no clue my license was suspended at the time. But
Yeah,
I got it all
that's
fixed.
wild. That's a wild domino of events to get you arrested.
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I didn't
Over
know,
$25.
Yeah, it was $25 at the time. Yeah. But another thing is,
one. Okay.
I've got another news story here.
go ahead.
How do you guys feel about public displays of affection?
Are you talking about gay stuff or what?
I mean,
I was going to say depends. Depends on the level of it.
Do you find it annoying when you see people like, holding hands or kissing or hugging like out in public?
Not really.
Holding hands, I'm fine with. Making out full blown, like
I don't really
if
care about
in
that.
second base, maybe not.
Maybe a dick out or something, But I don't even care about that.
Like
I was young once. I get it.
That's yeah.
Well, Dunedin Airport in New Zealand has sparked debate around the world with a new sign imposing a 3-minute limit on hugs in its drop-off zone. For the Fonderfell whales, please use the car park. Commenters are outraged that there's a limit on the amount of time you can cuddle with your partner when they're leaving. The airport CEO, Daniel DiBano, weighed in and said that airports are a hotbed of emotion and pointed out that a 20-second hug is enough to get the burst of the love hormone oxytocin, and argued that moving customers along quickly allows people to get more hugs. Dunedin Airport parking lot has had some interesting things going on over the years. It allows a 15-minute visit for free. So do your fucking hugging out there.
Wow. So okay,
there must be like a prison.
There must have been a problem with. I love how they limited it at 3 minutes. It's like
I think it's too long. I 90 seconds. Get the fuck out of the car. Go get on the airplane and get the fuck out of my life.
Honestly, I'm just not paying attention to people. I keep my head down and I try not to make eye contact or look at anybody. And I try to. But I mean, I get it. If I was looking at somebody, I don't want to say shit. But
if they're clogging up the doorway or something, I could see it. But other than that, that's a little bit on the spectrum.
I don't look at anybody because I can't stand anyone. Honestly, you guys are all right, but I you know what I mean? Like I can't stand anybody. I'm just trying to like do. I keep an earphone in. I'm listening to a book. I'm trying to ignore fucking everybody.
Yeah,
honestly.
I accept you too.
There's a commenter here who says the director of the airport is clearly autistic. Oh, definitely, but I'm 100% on his side.
I love the
stop clogging up the traffic.
Like, you should be able to get the what is it, like, not dopamine, oxytocin.
Oxytocin. Yeah. I just imagine him standing there at the curb and
he's I used to love
oxycontin. Move it along. So. Move it along.
Who do I got to hug to get some oxycontin is what I'm wondering. How many seconds we gotta do that
not
for?
That airport, apparently.
Well, that's our news this week, and this has been.
You're listening to Irrelevant News Network 365, bringing you meaningless news every day for a year.
So, normally this is where we would say thank you to the fans, which we are going to say anyway, because Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you through the generous contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Just like PBS, except not fucking lame and gay. But so, as Patreon's been closed for a little over a year now. I haven't been accepting money for the show, but I am asking you for money now, not for the show. This year I'm taking part in moghvember. I am going to be shaving my face in a couple of days. It's October.
Don't do it. It's always a mistake. I learned. Always a mistake every time. It's like, fuck. What did I do?
I haven't been clean shaven in like more than 10 years. So a couple of friends out here in St. Louis and I, we're all pitching in together. We're throwing in $100 of our own, and our goal is to raise $500 each. And we are donating it to a group called Peter and Paul Community Services. It's a charity here in St. Louis. It's actually pretty close to where the three of us, we live within a few miles, and it's kind of in this area. But it's a charity that specifically does money for single adult homeless men. It was really important to me to find a charity that was absolutely men focused and wasn't like we're doing things, but also we let women in, because the whole moghvember thing, I know it's supposed to be for like prostate cancer or something lame. I don't really give a shit about cancer, but I have personally seen what a pain in the ass it is to try and find support for men especially specifically in homelessness. When I was managing the union in Tulsa, one of the stagehands lost his place to live, and he was living in the car. And I thought, oh, I'll just do a quick search and find some resources for him. And there are shockingly few. If you're a woman and you're homeless, there's lots and lots of support, which is great. That's fine. If you're a man and you're homeless, it's like really not around. So we kind of narrowed it down. It was either going to be homelessness or suicide prevention, and I couldn't find a local charity that would specifically do men's suicide prevention and not just general suicide prevention. So we decided to go with this one. So what I'm going to encourage you to do, if you feel so inclined, would be to give what you would maybe give to the show Patreon. You can donate Linktree.ee/moghvember, because I'm a Star Trek fan, moghvember. You can donate to any one of the three of us, and our Venmos are all there. And at the end of in December 1st, we'll show how much money we raise and get it all donated to these folks. So, trying to make a difference by shaving my face.
Great cause.
Well, good luck with that, because you're gonna regret it every time I do it.
Oh, definitely.
Because as soon as you get as soon as I hit like 32, I started growing a beard like indefinitely. Because I used to just have sideburns like Elvis or whatever. Double chin, it covers that up. Yeah, it's like, who's this fat? I don't recognize this fat fuck I look at in the mirror,
I fixed that problem earlier this year. That's why I've actually been keeping my facial hair a lot shorter this year than I have in years past. But yeah, it's been 10 years since I've used a razor on my face or more. I mean, I think 2000.
I did it once.
I just shaved on camera because I had the beard going the last time we were doing this, and I just shaved on camera for my character, because unfortunately my wrestling character never has a beard. Like he's always got the 5 o'clock shadow.
He's better get one now. He's better get one now.
Yeah. So I went and we cut a promo on TikTok, and I had it where I went to my barber and we played it off. I was in character, and the whole time my character always wears shades and a hat, and he never takes them off. And he's accusing the other guy who wears a mask all the time of hiding his identity. So he's being hypocritical. And then had the barber shave my face in the video. But something I always end up doing whenever I shave a beard or something like that, or I get down to it, is like I always make sure I get a mustache, and then I go out and I show my wife when I get the little Hitler mustache, just for the last little bit. So I thought I might as well put that in the video. So I had it where this barber didn't like me that much. Like, I think he likes me, but he doesn't. And then he gets it down to the Hitler mustache and says, yeah, no, this guy's just like a rural Paraguayan barber guy.
I wouldn't know what that was. I wouldn't know what that was.
No, man, but it's like $3 to get your haircut. So I go in there and I get him to cut it. My son did a great job. He actually shot the whole thing and got it down to it and got done.
How old is your son?
What's that? He's 12.
Mine's 11.
Yeah. So it's great age, fun times. He's learning how to do all this kind of stuff. But
mine's a fucking asshole, but I am too. So I get
it. So yeah, man. Good cause though. I hope that, put that link. We'll put that link in the show description, maybe.
Yeah. You know what though? Well, go ahead.
The link, it will be in the show description, and I'll put it in Discord and stuff.
Perfect.
If I have any extra money, I'll donate $5 to your link. I'm just gonna say.
There we go, brother.
Thank you.
God bless.
My Mrs. DLuxx, the missus of the house, she's a hairdresser. So I cannot. So what I do, I'm like a chia pet. My hair grows, my beard grows. I look like a fucking werewolf right now. I'm not gonna go to fucking. I'm not gonna say the place she works, but it's a well-known place. I'm not gonna go there to get a hair. I don't have time for that. She brings her shit home sometimes, and I can get my hair cut. Yeah. Well, my daughter, who's in 3rd grade, she's 8. She's about to be 9. Wants me to come there for a career day. Wants me to come there. And if it was like talking in front of the class, I wouldn't do it. But I read the thing. It's like a set up like a fair. There's gonna be tables. And my day job is a photographer, graphic designer / graphic designer. And she really wants me to do it. So I guess she'll jam with me. I'll play guitar or bass, and she'll come out here and play drums. I got her a drum set and all that. She's cool, like we're close. And November 15th coming up, I had to go to the elementary school And I have to set up a thing. I'm gonna put my camera, my drone, my laptop with videos of drone videos I filmed for my job.
Yeah.
Flyers I've made for my job because we donated to the hurricanes in North Carolina. I made flyers that shit we needed. Plus just pictures of cars I've taken and stuff. I'm gonna do all this shit. 360 camera, my gimbal. You know, it's like a little handheld.
Yeah, I know what a
gimbal. All that shit. And I'm going to do it for her, but I'm like, I have to. Mama has to cut my hair first and like give me a shave. But
you were taken care of during the lockdowns, I bet. Then, if you were,
well, I'm in South Carolina. We didn't. I didn't do a fucking thing. No, we didn't
get locked down. Yeah. Man,
we didn't want to lock down. I worked at a goddamn car dealership. We were open the whole time. I never wore a mask or anything.
So, I moved to the wrong place. Tab.
No, Oklahoma was the same way. We didn't
South Carolina's open.
Oh yeah, South Carolina was definitely open. I mean, a few places closed. I work at a car dealership. I'm not going to say the brand names, even though you know what my car dealership did, because they weren't making new cars at the time, so we upped our used car game. You know, I don't care. I'm not a fucking salesman. I drive the cars around the corner, take all their pictures. I make all the logos and flyers and shit like that. We bought another store across the highway that had 2 brands. We already had 4. So then we had 6 brands. Then we built an RV truck stop, not a stop, but a place like a place that fixes RVs and trucks. They built that place. I did the design logo. Then they also bought a Chevy. Well, that's one brand name. They bought a Chevy place. I didn't mean to say brand name, but so
well, there's like 6 of them there. That's good.
7 brand names. All right, and then they bought and built a commercial vehicle center. So we have, and I had to make logos for all this shit. So they expanded. I mean, it doesn't really affect me much. I haven't gotten a raise in 2.5 years, and I don't think I don't take all the pictures or anything. I was at the other shop across the highway, and honestly, the other photographer quit yesterday. So I had to, my boss called me over there today. I have to go take pictures again, but that's fine. I mean, I can keep up with it for the most part. I'll be a little behind, but it'll be all right. But I fucking drive cars and take their pictures. Right. I'm not gonna fucking complain. Nobody fucks with me. Everybody leaves me alone. I just do my own thing unless I need something. You know.
So
well, let's jump back into the issues. I've got the one last issue for this week.
Sure.
Here's what I don't get. Vice and virtuous clothing. So I mentioned that the teachers in Missouri are fucking ramming buses into one another, letting 7-year-olds drive. But so there's a ballot initiative on the books. There's 2 of them in Missouri this year for the presidential election. They want to legalize sports betting, and they want to put a casino up at Lake of the Ozarks or somewhere. I don't fucking know. I don't care. And gambling is bad. It's a vice. Smoking is bad. Drinking is bad.
What?
Gambling's bad. I say as both other people on the show light up. But what they're doing is they're selling this as, okay, it's going to be $100 million if we legalize sports betting in Missouri. It's going to be $100 billion over 5 years to schools. And I remember back in Oklahoma in the early 2000s when we passed the lottery, that we're going to have so much money for schools, and they raised taxes on cigarettes, and all this money for schools. And I'm thinking, the schools are all still basically shit. Missouri and Oklahoma are pretty low in the rankings of the United States.
Okay.
I don't think it's a money issue. I think so I went and did the math. It's $14,000 per school in the state of Missouri is what this $100 million will be. So it's, $2,000 a year, $3,000 a year. Per school. It's basically nothing. Like what are you going to do to put that? What is your school going to do with $3,000 that they can't do right now? Like it's all going to go into administrative bloat and waste. And what you're really doing is you're allowing degeneracy, and you're allowing like these behaviors that are bad, and pretending that somehow because we can vice tax it, and it's fine. It's really fine to have all this excessive drinking, and because
it's virtuous vice.
We're taking these vice taxes in, and we're going to put them. What you're doing is bad, but we're going to turn it into a better cause. And schools is always a big one. The money's always going to go into the schools, and it's like your schools fucking suck.
Yeah,
and they're not going to get better.
And they're not going to get better. $3,000 is not going to fucking take Central High School of performing arts and suddenly make them start passing standardized tests. Like, it's not
Right.
going to happen. And I cannot believe people keep falling for it. At the end of the day, I don't really give a shit about sports betting. I'm never going to do it. Here in St. Louis, especially, what people do, and I've had multiple people tell me this, they get in the car and they drive to Illinois, just across the river, 15-minute drive, park in a gas station parking lot, do all the bets that they can on their phone, and then they drive back.
Weird.
And they get their winnings, because just like moving your geolocation, which you don't even need to.
Can you use a VPN?
I guess possibly, yeah.
You could just geo-tag yourself over into Illinois if you were smart and not even bother with the fucking driving.
Yeah.
And
nobody's smart anymore, though. There's not a lot of smart people, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is true. It's excessively irritating that we keep lying to ourselves in just like this slow and ever-present slide into total degeneracy and disgustingness, and pretending that somehow, if we just allow this next little thing, if we, we're going to have these, a big one in Oklahoma was allowing the Indian tribes to have casinos. And now they have this total fucking stranglehold on the entertainment industry in Oklahoma. And there are Indian casinos everywhere that they have tribal land. People are driving out to them. They're making tons of money for the tribes. And sure, a little bit of it comes back into the system, but largely it's just people ruining their own fucking lives. Like, and you have these conversations with people that talk about going out and we just go out and put them in the slot machines and blow $100, but it's just fun money. It's fun money to lose, and it's like,
well, it's fun money to lose.
What the fuck are you talking about? How is just setting $100 on fire entertainment to you? Like,
are they getting free drinks or something?
Some places, yeah, but then the other side of it is, I have had friends who, you see them Monday morning and they're like, oh man, hit it big at the casino on Friday night, $5,000 jackpot, and I'm like, okay, how much did you get home with?
Yeah,
and there's the conversation is always, well,
negative.
So
kept playing.
One friend one time, I remember it was like a $3,000 or $4,000 jackpot, and I asked the same question I ask every time: what did you actually leave with? Oh, I left with all $3,500, whatever it was. And I was like, oh, that's great. So then what happened? Well, I was doing so well on Friday, went back on Sunday, and because I couldn't get to the bank and deposit it.
Oh,
and I was like, and then you lost it all, yeah? Well, I lost most of it. Like.
So I used to gamble a bit, and I was totally autistic about it. And this was at the Calgary Stampede up in Calgary. They had the casino, and this is like, kind of pre-internet sort.
What year was that? Calgary? Because I booked a band from Calgary. They stayed with me.
Oh, really?
A week. Yeah.
Yeah. This would have been. Well, I had to have been 18, so it would have been like 99.
99. They stayed with me. They stayed with me for a week. They were called Belvedere.
Oh, my vintage and my people. So I went to this thing. I would go and I studied up on blackjack. I couldn't play the slots. I couldn't do.
It's called African American Jack now, actually.
No, it's called Black and Brown Jack. Probably, I don't know what it's called now. Which is or people of color.
Cards of color.
I would go there. I would do the fun money thing. I would go there with $100, right? But I would also
buy weed and other drugs with $100. That's all more fun to me.
I'm getting there. I figured it out. I got really good at blackjack, and I would bring the $100 and I would take my winnings. When I would win in the first few games, anytime I would win, I would put it into I'd had a 2-pocket system, and I would basically refill the $100 that I came in with and only play with the winnings that I had above that.
Mm-hmm.
3 years in a row, I would do this thing, and our entire Stampede experience I financed afterwards. I did really well at the table, so that we would go and I knew when to quit, and I would just kind of go, okay, we've done it. We're now the night's on me, and we'd go get like nice tickets at the chuck wagon races or at the rodeo, and like drinks were on me, and basically I'd have that $100 that I never spent. Well, I mean, it was back to me every time. Then the fourth year came and I lost all 100 and I quit like immediately. I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again. So then I go off to university, and when I got back, I got like the first job I could get paid $10 an hour, and I had the student loans and I had rent and all this kind of stuff. It wasn't covering anything. So if I was going to have any kind of a social life whatsoever, I had to figure out how to do like something. And so we had sports betting there, but in Calgary or in Canada at that time, we didn't just like, you couldn't have like sports betting as in like, I'm going to bet on this game. You had what was called Sports Select, and you had to at least pick 3 to 4 games minimum to win. You had to win all 4 of your games, not just one. And I remember when I worked at like a place called Future Shop, which is like the best.
Seems like a really convoluted way for them to steal your money.
Well, and they coded it, they sugar-coated it with all the like it's going to like charity and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's all the words. It's all the words.
So I remember when I was working at this electronics store, Future Shop, and there were guys that would bet on football, and they said we don't bet on hockey because hockey like is too all over the place. Like the worst team in the league can beat the best team in the league. And there's upsets all the time, but in football, not so much. So I looked into the football thing, but I couldn't for the life of me get it to work in football. So I figured out how to do it in baseball, and I had this system, and I would go through, and I knew which ones to pick based on like, you know, ballpark dimensions and like the lineup, like how many left-handed batters are in this lineup. Is it up against a left-handed pitcher? And I got really good. I had this whole like Excel spreadsheet that I would put in everything, and I would like pick my teams out of it. And I basically doubled my income each month with just this betting thing until I lost 2 days in a row, and I was like, okay, I'm done, and that's it. And like I had to quit right then and there. And so the only sports bet I ever made after that was when I had to go to Vegas for a work thing. And the guys that were with me were like, aren't you going to gamble, or are you going to come out? And I'm like, no, at the time I had a baby at home, and I was like, I'm actually going to take advantage of this and get some sleep. And they're like, you're in Vegas and you want to get some sleep? I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm going to get some sleep in Vegas. I looked at my room, man. Like they got the blackout blinds. Like they know people are sleeping at the weird hours. Like I'm going to take full advantage of this. And it ended up I think I put like $50 on like the Calgary Flames to win the Stanley Cup. And then they actually did well that year. They did okay into the playoffs, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm going to win something here. You know, they lost in the second round, but I lost the ticket anyway. So, you know, and also I was like, how the hell am I going to like recuperate this? Like, do I like call the casino in Vegas to like pay me out, or do I have to go there again? Like, I don't think that's going to make it worth it. So anyways, long story, but like they do this, it's weird. Cause like, I've always felt too, like going back to the gambling thing, like when they do like fundraisers and it's like a casino, you know, it's like a community casino or something like that. It's like, couldn't we just, I guess like you're adding some element of entertainment to it, but for the most part, you're not promoting something good. And then like in the general scheme of things, or like those bingos or whatever that they do, I'm trying to even think like sometimes when they do like, even like adult entertainers do this kind of crap too, right? Where they like try to raise money for like a thing like through their OnlyFans or something like that. It's like, yeah, that's maybe not the best way to go about it.
You just reminded me. There's a local strip club called Masters Club, and like there's always midgets coming. You can't say midget anymore though. Bridget the midget's going to be there.
We can say it on this show.
Yeah. All right, well, they won't call it. I'm not going to support it though because it's Bridget Powers now and a bunch of other midgets. Or maybe I would go. But you know, Masters has always been it's always been a little too fancy. I've been there a bunch when I was younger. It's too fancy. I used to like the skeezy all nude reviews, like a Derriere's where they were all nude, and you pay $18 to get in. Well, this back in the day. I was even 18. No, I was 18. Well, no, I wasn't 18 the first time, but you had to be 18, which wasn't drinking age, but friends would come with you with. You could bring your own cooler. They fill it with ice. You could put your own alcohol in there and all that. I would do cocaine in the bathroom because there was a sink in the bathroom stall. But nowadays, you can't even say midget. I'm not going to the fucking strip club. Well, fuck that.
That word is enshrined on this show because
it's a midget.
I I work with midgets, like because I did midget wrestling tours back in the day,
There's
and
nothing wrong with midgets.
we have the M word pass on this show, permanently granted to us.
You know
by
what's
Short Sleeve
fucked
Sports.
up? You say the M word pass. You know what's fucked up? You know Ricky Berwick.
Yeah,
All right, you know who he is? He's like really
Yeah.
famous, the little
Yeah.
like crippled guy.
yeah.
All right. So he put out a video like last year. It's like a 10-second video. He's like, you could say retard. Retard. I'm the king of the retards. Blah, blah, blah. No, I am the king of the fucking handicapped people. You can say retard, blah, blah, blah. So what I did is I made a card that said
Okay.
R word pass, retard pass. All right. I modeled it after the Monopoly get out of jail free card.
There we go.
I made this card. I made it on my fucking phone.
Does it work? Is it
Well,
valid?
I made it on my. I have Photoshop. I didn't even use Photoshop. I used PixArt on my phone. And I made this card. I made a short video where I made this R word pass. Blah blah. Get out whatever free, not jail free, but like
Get out of
arguing with fucking
repercussions.
retards, whatever it was or whatever. The PC police is what I said or whatever. Then I made it so I found a video, not a video. I found a picture of Ricky on Deviant or somebody drew.
He put that on there too.
I took the color out of it and I made it because I was trying to model it after the get out of jail free card, which was just a black.
Oh, so was he getting the boot out of the?
No, well I made it and then I made a video of it where it's like. I have a retard pass. I have the R word pass. I can say retard every time I want to. And then he busts through the picture and it's him saying, you can say retard, blah, blah, blah. And I put it on Twitter and I tagged him. I'm like, hey, Ricky, thanks for the R word pass. He's like, you're welcome. He fucking took it and went all the way. He messaged me on Twitter. He's like, are you the original artist of the picture? I'm like, no, I found, I'm the one that made the card. Yes. But the picture I found on DeviantArt, he said, I can't find the original artist. I tracked the dude down. It's a dude who lives in Germany because I'm a good, like a freelance detective, if you will. I tracked him down. I'm like, oh, here's his Twitter. Here's his YouTube. I found him. So he messages him, gets permission to use his drawing, and just goes with it. And he sold 4,000, I think he said. Like the
Nice.
First never gave me credit. Never even fucking gave me credit for it, though. Never even gave me credit. My idea, my card, and
you know
he
what
made
you
stickers
do?
of it.
You should film yourself emoting about
crying about it.
Yeah.
Should I cry about it without help?
This poor crippled
that'll
web
This fucking
entertainer
cripple
stole
made
my
up
work.
stole my idea. He did though. You know what? I can't say anything because he's got that fucking shield, that crippled shield up.
Yeah.
I can't say a goddamn thing. My
got the
idea,
copyright.
my card, everything. He even asked me for my address, and I had a PO box for like 6-7 years. Can't afford it no more because the like even the PO box went up over the years. So when I started my PO box at like $30 every 4 months, now it's like $60 every 4 months. I couldn't afford it anymore after 6 years.
Brutal.
So I gave him my fucking home address. He never even sent me the fucking cards or stickers he was supposed to, and I get no goddamn credit. I
bet he still got them. I bet he still got them around. And let's get that solved. Let's get him to.
That was just a couple months ago. Well, I did see that he said his mom
break his legs.
That don't work anyway. It won't matter. Well, I saw he hasn't posted since the beginning of the month. He said his mom was mentally and physically abusing him. So he did the crying video already, I guess. So he's got the sympathy. I'm just a fucking asshole talking about it. But I'm gonna say
one, apparently.
the retard card was my idea. That's all I'm gonna say. And my design.
That's all I have to say about Vice and Virtuous.
It's a good issue,
clothing.
though, man.
So,
that's a good issue.
Yeah, I'm tired. Legalize sports betting. Don't legalize sports betting, but don't fucking pretend that it's like for the greater good because it's not. We know that it's not.
Don't take a turd. Don't take a turd and wrap it in like this beautiful, like flowy white lace or anything like that. It doesn't. It's still a turd in the box, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not winning anything over. Good issue, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, this has been Here's What I Don't Get. Jamie, thanks for joining us on the show. Where can people find your stuff?
You can go to DLuxxNation.com. I upload all my videos to YouTube Twitter, which is now X, Rumble. I have to do my fingers so I can figure it all out. Rumble,
BitChute?
Rockfin, BitChute, that's 5.
Yeah.
Odyssey. I'm also on Band.video, which is InfoWars. I don't know how much longer it's going to be there, but I do upload there.
I'm surprised they haven't brought you on. I'm surprised he hasn't brought you on.
I have been on. I've been on
okay.
American. What's the one dude's show in the morning? American something.
Mm-hmm.
When I was like outing Fauci about stuff because I found out the AIDS isn't real and the HIV was never proven to exist.
That was a good video, man. That was a good video.
Thank you. I've done lots of videos on it. Yeah, there's no proof. I was also a researcher to help find the original sources for Celia Farber's book, Serious Adverse Events and Uncensored History of AIDS, which was published originally in 2006, re-released in 2022 and 23. She was a Spin magazine reporter. I helped her find all the quotes that she originally quoted. Where else do I upload? There's 2 more places: Facebook and one more, Substack. So all those places I upload on 9 places. It's a fucking pain in the ass, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
I want to apologize for spamming you with all of the background info. I'm trying to urge you.
Don't apologize. It's fine. You know I'm busy as fuck, and I'm in like 2 bands. I have kids. I work full time.
Well, it's that Canadian connection. I want you to dive into the Canadian music scene because I know there's definitely some smoke and fire.
Well, I don't know if you saw
Alanis Morissette.
Alanis Morissette. Yeah, I knew she was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we just got the guy from Sum 41, Derek Ridley.
I made that video, about Treble Charger. I'd never heard of him before.
Yeah, creepy. And then the last one, you taught me about that one. That was a good one. That great video recently. And
Thank you.
I used to actually really like Treble Charger. That's the sad part.
We had bands like that down here, like that were we thought were huge growing up. But then we never got fucking molested by them or anything. But we were just big fans and we got friends with them.
So then the last
that's
one
why I'm not
Brian
famous.
Adams. Brian Adams,
really?
Brian Adams, for whatever reason. So there was a band called Sweeney Todd that was big in Canada.
I haven't heard that. I've heard of the musical, but not the band.
Yeah, Sweeney Todd. They had like Roxy Roller and a couple of other songs.
You never heard of Belvedere?
Belvedere, the band?
Yeah. They're from Calgary.
I've heard of them.
They played the Warped Tour. They were on a Nickelodeon show.
It sounds familiar, man. It does sound familiar.
I booked them in 99. They stayed at my apartment for a week.
Cool. I'll check that out. Yeah,
Belvedere.
Brian Adams, man, he was made lead singer of this band at the age of 16. And it's like, how? Like they were like an established band and like.
Oh, look. I saw you texting me about shit, but
Alanis Morissette, you can find the name on that one. That's easy.
Was it Dave Coulier?
No, it's not Dave Coulier. It was her manager when she was a 14-year-old in Ottawa.
Look, I saw you sent me a bunch of shit, but I'm so busy all the time and like hectic.
And you don't have to credit me. You don't have to do any of that kind of stuff because
I always try to credit people.
It'll be karma for the Ricky Berwick thing. I'll pay it back for Ricky.
Ricky,
yeah, man.
God damn it,
so
Ricky.
much.
Just give me some fucking credit, Ricky. God damn it.
Anyways, well, thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, Tab, you want to close it out?
Yeah. So this has been Here's What I Don't Get. 300. You can now listen to this show every day for a year, but not this year because there's going to be 366 days. The next year you can start on January 1st, and it'll be like the 1-year Bible that people do. You know, they read the whole Bible in 1 year. What really happens is they read it for like the first 3 weeks of January, and then they give up. But you could listen to one episode of Here's What I Don't Get per day for all of 2025, and that's the real Project 2025. You can like really see the descent into madness that I've gone through over the last 7 years.
And hey, just saw the commenter. We got a shout out or cheers from Calgary. Cheers to you, Jacob. That's I love having some Calgary audience on this one. That's great. Go Flames, go. So yeah, man. Jamie, it's been awesome having you here. Usually what we do is we stick around afterwards and answer voicemails. You're free to go back if you need to. I know you had to carve out some time just to hang out with us tonight, but you're free to stay if you want to as well. So it's your call, but we'll wrap this one up.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. God bless, man.
I'm still next time. I hit a wrong button. Oh, there you are. All right. All right. Yeah, I gotta go check on my family. I gotta
All
make
right.
sure my kids are sleeping.
Thanks for
wake
the
up in the
time,
morning.
brother. God bless.
Hey,
Well, so
hey, thank you because you hooked me up a couple years ago, and I owe you. I felt like it.
oh
So
man, no,
thank
no,
you.
it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure having you. So yeah,
right,
Tab,
man.
you want to roll this one up?
Yep. Until next time, I'm Tab Burt.
I'm El Chaco, and thank you again to Jamie DLuxx. Ciao, ciao.
Catch you next time. If you want to call into the Here's What We Get hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get, or you can visit us in the Discord under voicemail upload. We do have one from the Discord. While I get that prepped, let me play this one from the YouTube hotline, from the voicemail hotline. Clearly my brain is not working.
Here's what I don't get. Dudes who keep their phone in their back pocket. That's what chicks do. Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. 100%.
Mm-mm.
Front right pocket's where my phone goes.
That's how you fry your nuts. I throw it in my back pocket, or I throw it in my cargo short down the side. It never goes in my front pocket.
That
yeah,
is the
I'm one of
biggest
those
dad
guys.
thing on the planet, to be wearing cargo shorts.
That's my admission, and I'm sticking to it.
I guess I have to maximize this and do an entire screen over here. Also share my system audio. All right. Here's our voicemail.
I might as well leave this in as a mini issue for the show, but whenever you sign up via text, they always throw in that disclaimer where data and message rates may apply. Shouldn't it be data and message rates will apply? I'm pretty sure that whatever phone plan we buy, we're limited to how many text and data rates we have on a monthly basis. Oh well. Here's hoping that y'all have a wonderful Halloween out there, unlike that pizza guy who keeps calling the show. If you're that pizza guy, I'm sorry, but I don't think you're ever going to get that pizza ever. Just throwing that out there.
That poor pizza guy.
War pizza
I'm
guy.
with you though. Yeah, man. This whole like who's doing the text as a text anymore at this point?
Yeah, it's all RCS. Like everything's unlimited anymore. Like no one is back in the days when you used to have to like pay a nickel per text, which is actually a thing that I used to have on a cell phone plan, and I got in massive trouble for texting when I was a kid.
Well, and that, now, like, yeah, I get those things, and like it'll be like, local rates will apply. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I have unlimited. I'm not sure. Like, I'm pretty sure I have unlimited, but I never use it. Anytime I get a text from anything, it's generally one of those like verification codes from like Amazon or something like that. That's the only thing I get texts for now.
Here's
Did
another
you
one.
want to? Oh, you got another.
Yeah, I figure, so we're gonna do a bit at the end of this. I figure we'll do all the voicemails, and then Chaco and I have a fun game we're gonna play.
Hey guys, Dunham here. Here's what I don't get: women that think they're flirting with you. So I was in at a wedding down in Houston. We all, as a big group family thing, went to this taco shop in, I guess, downtown Galveston. I don't know how Galveston works. I've only been there once, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing there. And you know, lady comes up and is like, hey, so what would you like to drink if your guys are ordering drinks? And I'm like, you know, like all of it was all kind of like fruity girly shit. And I'm like, man, that don't sound too good. All like summer flavored watermelon, whatever. So I'm all, so what do you like around here? And she goes, I like to shoot straight tequila or bourbon when I'm pissed off. Like, and immediately I knew that she assumed I was flirting, but like, yeah, my type. Like, I don't like, one, I don't like bitchy girls, and two, like, fucking chill. I'm here with a bunch of fucking people. I'm not here to flirt and fucking find a girlfriend in a shithole called Houston. Stay furious.
Oh, all ABC, man. Always be flirting. You got to stay in practice.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're knocking on her for not having game, but like that's how you get your game. Is is attempts and rejections and recuperating and getting better at it.
You want to hear a really, truly, impressively embarrassing story?
Absolutely.
This was several months ago. I guess it was back maybe during the summer or early spring. I was bartending an event, and I was not like, I was just rotating in for people.
Mhm.
And so this woman comes up, gets a drink, make it for her, and have like the briefest of conversations on the planet. And she's like, "Oh, I have a tip for you, but I have to go get it." And I was like, "Okay, I don't really care." And so then she comes back, but instead of coming to because I wasn't at a station anymore, instead of coming to one of the stations, she comes around to the side of the bar where there's an opening, and she gets one of the bartenders to get my attention to come over there, and she hands me a $5 bill that, but we split tips. So I just took the $5 bill from her and just put it immediately into the tip jar. And I was like,
Your phone number is probably written on the $5.
Why couldn't she just have given this $5 to literally any of the bartenders? And then after I left for the evening,
your autistic ass
like,
clicked in. Yeah.
not that I was like particularly interested in her, but I was like, did not read that situation correctly at all.
It's
Stupid asshole.
Is that it for the voicemails, or does
no, we got two
Hey,
more?
Chad, that's Minnesota here. Just wondering if you're ever gonna put out the audio for these episodes. I'm not some faggot who just watches shit on YouTube all the time. I actually have shit to do, and I need the audio version to go out at some point, some way. Yeah, if you could do that, that'd be sweet. And my don't get is people who need to backlight their entire fucking lives with LEDs. Obnoxious. Alright, I'm open, so I'll catch you later.
Yeah, I'll get these edited tomorrow and posted. I've been slacking on that because life's just been busy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, life sucks. I've been eating nothing but chocolate for the past 3 days now. It's all I can ever
That's a good
eat.
way to get that.
Why is life so absolutely cruel here? I'm almost convinced that someone out there is trying to cut me off whenever I'm trying to give out the stupid address. Why is it so awful? Guess what? I'm gonna get cut off just by saying the address. The address here is...
Cut off again.
Man, pay-as-you-go phones. They just they're unfair.
He probably has one of those phones where data and message rates still apply.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And he's got to recharge it at the 7-Eleven.
So you might have noticed the fake ad. The episode was sponsored by the WNBA, and in the pre-show, we had an idea for this little game. We're gonna have a little competition. So El Chaco is dialed into sports. He knows about sports, right? I don't know about sports. I'm not dialed into sports. But to prove a point, I have a list up of all of the WNBA teams, and El Chaco has a list up of all of the NBA teams, and we are going to go back and forth, and we're going to do about 6 teams, and I'm going to give him the name of the team without the city or province that it's in, and he's going to see if he can name what city or province it's in. And I'm going to do the same with NBA teams, because I would bet that my just like passing around being in a sports bar one time has given me an idea of where more of these teams are than anyone knows about the WNBA. So
who goes first?
I'll read you one first.
Okay.
So here we go. The team. This is the Fever.
The Fever. I know that one. That one's Indiana.
That is correct.
Yeah, I know that one. That was Indiana. That's the only one I'm going to get correct, because that's Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Okay. The Pelicans.
Somewhere in Florida. Miami?
Wrong. That is New Orleans.
New Orleans. You just became really quiet.
Is that getting drowned out by the soundboard?
Yeah, I'll turn off the match game theme.
I love the match game song though. But yes, the Pelicans play in New Orleans.
All right, New Orleans. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so far, El Chaco's ahead.
I'm ahead.
The
WNBA
Mercury.
is winning. What's that?
The team is called Mercury.
San Jose.
It is Phoenix.
Phoenix. Ah, crap. I'm just going to answer San Jose to the rest of them because I get it. Okay. You should get this one. Thunder.
Oh, that's OKC.
There you go. You got
Yeah.
one. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, it's 1-1.
Let's see, I've done those two. Sky.
Is that Orlando?
All right, Chicago. These are terrible team names.
I know they're because I think there's like a lot of like copyright laws and rules, and so that I've seen like what's left that you can actually call teams, and it's you're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Okay. The Hornets.
They're in New Orleans too, aren't they?
No, they are not anymore.
They're not anymore. Oh, I have no idea where they moved then. I know they used to be in New Orleans.
They are in Charlotte.
They were in Oklahoma for a bit.
Were they?
Yeah, after Hurricane Katrina, they moved up. I think I don't remember if it was Tulsa or it might have been OKC. But yeah, it was like 6 months, and then they I think they went back to New Orleans, and then they I guess moved to Charlotte.
Okay, so what are we at? We're at one for 3 on each of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten 2 wrong, and you've gotten
2 wrong.
2 wrong. Yeah, so we're all tied up.
Okay.
The Lynx.
Minnesota.
Minnesota's correct.
Yeah, I knew that one. Okay, then let's go with I'm going to give you the Warriors.
They're the Golden State Warriors, aren't they?
There you go, 2 for 2. All right.
They're Sacramento.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
The Valkyries.
The Valkyries is. Oh, come on. Is that Houston?
No, they're the Golden State Valkyries.
Why does that have? Why does Sacramento have 2 teams in each? Okay. The Grizzlies.
Grizzlies. Where are their grizzly bears? Seattle.
They are not in Seattle, although that's close because they originated in Vancouver and now play in Memphis.
All right, so last one.
Is this the tiebreaker? We got to do this until there's a winner.
The Dream.
That's got to be Orlando.
Sorry, it is Atlanta.
That is a terrible team name as well.
So one more from you.
All right. Try to take this one home. You're gonna win this one on this one. I'm gonna give you one. Let's see. Let's go with the. You're gonna go with the 76ers.
76ers. Are they Chicago?
They are in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, there you go.
so we're still tied.
Yeah. If
you got another one?
Yeah, let's do
until we get a tiebreaker here.
The Storm.
The Storm. Is that Miami?
It is Seattle.
Seattle. Oh man. I love how Seattle has a WNBA team but doesn't actually have an NBA team.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with the Pacers.
Pacers. L.A.
Indiana.
Indiana. Here. This one's easy. Liberty.
New York.
That is correct.
All right.
One last
All right.
one.
Okay, I gotta stump you then somehow with what I got left, so we can end this in peace. Let's go with the Nets.
New York.
Be more specific.
What's more specific than New York? Are they?
Well, because there's a New York Knicks already, so
Yeah.
they have it. Okay, well, I guess you're in the States, so you get it right, but it's Brooklyn. It's the
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. Do we have to keep going?
Mystics.
Mystics. That's got to be Orlando.
Washington.
What? Oh, come on, because they're the okay. The Bucks.
The Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Milwaukee.
We're
still stuck.
I'm running out of teams.
I know.
The Sparks.
The Sparks. Is that Los Angeles?
That is Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. Let's put this one to bed. Give me Pistons.
The Pistons. Aren't they Baltimore?
And they are Detroit. Okay, so WNBA wins, but barely. I mean, it barely broke even. Unlike their, their.
Well, actually, hold on. I have. I've only got a couple teams. Well, now we'll end it.
Oh no! I mean, if we got two left, I mean, might as well.
I think I've got three. The Sun.
The Sun.
Yeah.
Boston.
Connecticut.
What?
Yeah. And then we've got the.
That's close enough, right? It's New England.
Let's see. We've done the Wings.
The Wings. Is that we've already said Seattle. Is it Denver?
Dallas. It does start with a D, so you're in the right neighborhood. And then finally, this one should be pretty easy. The Aces.
Aces. Is that Vegas?
It is Vegas.
Wow. So Vegas again has a team in the WNBA, but not in the NBA.
Well, that's because they couldn't steal one from St. Louis yet.
Or LA.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I appreciated that one. I guessed Orlando at all of them. Does Orlando even have a team?
No. See, you went with ones like the Lakers, the Heat. I probably would have gotten.
Oh, I wasn't going to give you those unless I had to.
The Bulls. Like there's a like common ones I think that people know. Yeah.
Well, okay. Let's see what you could get with if I run through them. We'll do a lightning round for you. Okay. All right. Celtics.
That's Boston.
Okay. Knicks.
New York.
Raptors.
I don't know. LA.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Bulls.
Bulls of Chicago.
Cavaliers.
Calgary.
No, Cleveland. Hawks.
Baltimore.
Atlanta. The Heat.
Miami.
The Magic.
Not Philadelphia because they're already done Philadelphia. Not Chicago. Is it like Phoenix?
It's the guess that I kept guessing that isn't in the WNBA.
Oh, Orlando.
Yeah. The Wizards, formerly known as the Bullets. Think alliteration.
The Wizards, the Washington Wizards.
Yes, the Washington Wizards. The Mavericks.
Dallas.
Yeah. Rockets.
Rockets. Is that one Baltimore?
No,
Does Baltimore have an NBA team?
there is no Baltimore NBA team. No,
Where are the Rockets?
Houston.
Houston.
The
Oh, that makes
Spurs.
sense.
The Spurs.
Not Detroit. That was Pistons. Are they also a Texas one?
Yes, they are.
Dallas, Houston, Austin,
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
And okay, the Kings.
I don't know.
Sacramento. The Suns.
Suns. Are they a Florida one?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
The Lakers, you know.
Lakers is LA.
The Clippers.
Aren't the Clippers also LA?
They are. Yep. The Jazz.
Oh, that's got to be a African American city.
It is certainly not.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Man, then I don't know.
They play in Salt Lake City in Utah.
Salt Lake City. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they came from New Orleans. That's why they were called that. The Trailblazers.
Denver.
Portland. Yeah.
The other part of the Oregon Trail.
The Nuggets.
Isn't that San Francisco?
Nope.
No, I don't know.
They play in Denver. And I think we covered them all somehow through all this. I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah. Oh, Timberwolves.
Are they're Pacific Northwest?
They are not. It's the same state as our former news segment.
Yeah, Minnesota. So it'd be what, Twin Cities?
Yeah,
Minneapolis?
Minnesota. They're just called the Minnesota Timberwolves. Yeah.
Ah.
All right. All right. We just proved a couple of things. First off, that nobody knows anything about the WNBA, and we proved that Tab doesn't know anything about the NBA
About sports. Yeah.
at all. Yeah. So,
But
I don't know.
I think I have to go back and count. I think I got as many teams as you got WNBA teams, and there's a much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I mean, I had only 13 to know.
Yeah.
And you had like, well, what do we got here?
26.
30. There's 30 NBA teams. So
roughly twice the amount of teams, and
about the same amount of answers correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to spread this bit into another one. We blew through it all in one go, but I think it's all fine.
Next time we'll talk about professional soccer teams, which
I'm going to test. I'm going to
to
test you on hockey teams. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to test you on hockey. And if I ever came to St. Louis, we're going to a Blues game.
Okay, only if they're playing the Pirates.
In what the Pirates are in baseball.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Penguins. Yeah,
the Penguins.
I was thinking of the Cardinals game. I want to go to a Cardinals game when they play the Pirates.
There you go. Yeah. The Cardinals. There's some storied legends there, man. Like McGuire hitting his 62 there. Yeah. Anyways, this is some good stuff, man. I appreciate it, and I'm glad we were able to do this, and I'm looking forward to throwing the audio on.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Linktree. It's stupid. It should just be linktree.com, but it's not. It's like linktr.ee /moghvember, moghvember.
Throw it in the show description on both the audio and the other one. But Jamie DLuxx is still watching. I'm loving this. He's been talking about the movie The Wizard with Fred Savage, the Nintendo movie. And he asks about, he says, well, that redheaded chick from the Goonies was in that movie. I guess it was the Wizard. Is that the same girl? Because I think the girl from the Wizard ended up being in like an indie rock band, or not even an indie rock band, but like an indie band in like the early 2000s. And I forget the name of it right now, but I'm pretty sure I could look that up at some point. But that's what she ended up doing. She ended up being actually a pretty good singer. So, oh, there we go.
I have never seen The Wizard, and I have
Oh, you should.
I've only seen The Goonies once, and I white hot hated it.
I think we should do The Wizard as a commentary at some point in time because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show and supporting the show. And thank you in advance if you donate to my moghvember campaign. I will see you next time with much less hair on my face.
All right.
Take it easy.
Cheers, guys. God bless.